Something I've kind of figured out about myself, known for a while, is I kind of like wanting things more and lusting over them more than having them. Um, as my collection of stuff, like anything I tend to collect, I kind of fizzle out pretty quickly, and I still be like researching a topic or into a topic. Except for firearms, I have a goal of trying to own more guns than the amount of sex partners I've had, so we're going to have to buy a lot of guns. And I already have a good collection, so that was good times. But um, I've been doing some research and I was looking and I found something that just had that. So anything I collect, I like a Q factor, I believe the term is. It's just something that's funky or has some sort of like thing that's a little different. Every doctor goes out and buys their Porsche 911. I would do something stupider. Everyone retires, they buy their Corvette. Both of them are excellent vehicles. They're status symbols. They're wonderful drivers. I have nothing really to bash them for, but and probably the bang for the buck, all that I could see how in those situations I could give into it. But no, I'd do something stupid. I'd be like, well, if I took this Ford Escort, slapped a carburetor on it, and $30,000 of machine work later, it'd be just as fast. And then you're still driving around in a 1997 Ford Escort that doesn't like to go uphill because the carburetor is malaligned due to the crazy fab work or something. But it's kind of strange. Like you get these things and it's working for the goal. I think is part of it. And some of the things aren't even like really a goal, because like there's certain I just know I'll never either have access to or desire even. But you just want to have like an interaction with a object or a thing. And I guess it's different too. Even I guess I could say even sometimes with people, which would allude to something else earlier. Uh, but it's keeping that thing, and then anything you own, you have to take care of and fix and insure sometimes. But you have the ability of anything you own to use how you see fit, which is great. But at the same time, it's a new responsibility, and I'm not against responsibility at all. I love being tasked and in control of things. I'm not at all a control freak. I like to very much go with the flow, but I treasure being given command. When I was managing a team of people at my last position, I really was happy with it. I felt like I was doing very well for everybody individually as well as what the unit itself was. That's something very special to me. But at the same time, I'm also thankful as hell right now. All I'm doing is buying and selling shit. I don't have to put up with all that nonsense now. So there's a benefit to both. Uh, but yeah, it's weird. Like I was pretty big into watch collecting for a while. I still have a bunch of nice ones. Well, they're nice to me. I'm sorry I don't have a Batak or something handy to show off. But you have it, and it's just like, yeah. And then there's a lot of the stuff too, like something like that. I just could never justify some of the things I lusted after, even if I could afford them. There's just certain things that are like fun, but like just that factor of how much money would you have to purchase a watch or any sort of good that's really unnecessary, for a large amount of money. There was one I was looking at that I thought was really cool, and it had this really strange feature. But it was $10,000. That's a lot of money. It's just not. So it's cool to read about, look at, and if you knew somebody who had it, you'd love to try it on and look at it. And, take a picture and see it, hold it in your hand, enjoy the craftsmanship. But some of the other stuff, like you just have, and it's just like, fuck, man, I have this thing. Now it's just there all the time, and I own it. And I got to deal with it. At that point, you might want to start thinking about letting some stuff go. Uh, I've cleaned out a lot of stuff. The one thing I've had the hardest time to ever break free with is my books, because I constantly reread things and look back, and some of the stuff I haven't touched in 10 years going into that. It's pretty awesome, and I wouldn't consider myself a collector. I get what I like and read what I want or get suggested. I do have a couple books that aren't really worth a lot, but they're kind of collector-y. I was gifted them, and it's pretty cool. I have like a first press of the Lord of the Rings, which I've tried a couple times. I enjoyed very much, but the last time I read it, I don't know, that whole mythology kind of stuff has just kind of faded from my enjoyment. And I actually blame H.P. Lovecraft for that. It's not dark enough. The original inventor of grim, dark, or nihilism in its own way, I guess. But that kind of somehow killed off because Cthulhu could kick the shit out of an elf. I don't know. I just haven't done a video in a little bit, so I kind of thought I'd do something about collecting and how I kind of more enjoy the research. I guess that's kind of a given, being an academic who is drug out and just kicking and screaming to the working world until he can go back into it, which I think actually is a very deep philosophical statement to sum me up. We will get back, and I will become a useless professor and do nothing except assign my grad students to do my bidding while I hide away in a pile of books and try to come up with the next great theories in economics and math, which probably 6 people will care about. And I'll just end this with a little side note. I've done some reading recently, and apparently John Nash was not apparently a very easy man to get along with, and I regretted, he was apparently pretty open when it came to contact, and I regret not writing him before he passed, but I'm now thinking that he probably would have looked through it, saw what I did for a living as an economist, and probably just spit on a piece of paper and mailed it back. I don't know, I probably still would have framed it. So, there's your video, guys. Bye.